I remember the day I met my husband Philip like it was yesterday. It was my second year at university, and I was rushing to my literature class, my backpack heavy with books. The campus was alive with students chatting and laughing under the tall oak trees. I wasn't paying attention and bumped right into him. My notes scattered everywhere, and I knelt down to pick them up, feeling my cheeks turn red. "Sorry about that," he said, bending down to help. His voice was warm, like a gentle breeze. When our eyes met, something clicked. He had this easy smile, messy brown hair, and eyes that sparkled with curiosity. "I'm Philip," he introduced himself, handing me my notebook. "I'm Ruth," I replied, trying to sound calm. From that moment, we started talking. He was studying engineering, but he loved reading books just like me. We found out we both enjoyed long walks and coffee shops. It felt like we were meant to be together. Our relationship started casually. We'd meet after classes, share lunches, and talk for hours about everything: dreams, fears, favorite movies. Philip was so understanding. If I had a bad day, he'd listen without judging. He made me laugh with his silly jokes. One evening, we went to a campus party. The music was loud, and people were dancing. He pulled me onto the dance floor, and we moved together like we had known each other forever. That night, under the stars, he kissed me for the first conformist time. It was soft and sweet, and I felt a spark ignite inside me. As time passed, our bond grew deeper. We had romantic dates, picnics by the lake, watching sunsets, holding hands. Philip was thoughtful. For my birthday that year, he surprised me with a handmade scrapbook of our moments together. Photos, ticket stubs from movies, little notes he wrote. I fell in love with him more each day. He wasn't perfect, sometimes he'd forget things or get lost in his studies, but he always made up for it. After university, we both got jobs in the city. Philip worked as an engineer for a tech company, and I became a teacher at a local school. Life was busy, but we made time for each other. We'd cook dinner together, watch TV shows, and plan our future. 2 years later, he proposed. It was on a beach vacation. The sun was setting, painting the sky orange and pink. He got down on one knee, holding a simple ring. "Ruth, will you marry me? I want to spend every day making you happy." Tears filled my eyes. "Yes, Philip. Yes." Our wedding was small but beautiful. Family and friends gathered in a garden, with flowers everywhere. I wore a white dress, and he looked handsome in his suit. We danced our first dance as husband and wife, whispering promises of forever. The honeymoon in Hawaii was magical: lazy days on the beach, exploring islands, making love under the moonlight. Everything felt perfect. But marriage isn't always a fairy tale. The first few years were great. We bought a cozy house in the suburbs, with a backyard for barbecues. Philip got promoted, and I enjoyed teaching my students. We traveled a bit to Europe, where we wandered ancient streets, and to the mountains for hiking. Our love life was passionate. We'd surprise each other with romantic nights, candles, and soft music. Slowly, though, things changed. Work got more demanding for both of us. Philip spent long hours at the office, coming home tired. I'd grade papers late into the night. Our conversations became shorter, about bills, groceries, weekend plans. The spark that once lit up our days started to fade. We still loved each other, but the excitement was gone. Intimacy became routine, like checking off a list. We'd kiss goodbye in the morning, say I love you at night, but it felt mechanical. I tried to bring back the magic. I planned date nights, dinners at fancy restaurants, movie marathons. Philip appreciated it, but he was distracted. "I'm sorry, Ruth," he'd say. "Work is crazy right now." I understood, but it hurt. I missed the way he used to look at me, like I was the only person in the world. My birthday was coming up. I turned 32 that year. I didn't expect much, maybe a quiet dinner. But Philip seemed excited. "I have a special surprise for you," he teased days before. "Something to spice things up." I smiled, wondering what it could be. Jewelry? A weekend getaway? I was curious. The day arrived. I woke up to breakfast in bed: pancakes, fresh fruit, coffee. Philip kissed my forehead. Happy birthday, my love. He had taken the day off, which was rare. We spent the morning relaxing, then he took me shopping. I picked out a new dress, red and flowing. In the afternoon, we visited my favorite park, feeding ducks by the pond. It felt like old times. As evening came, Philip said, "The real surprise is at home tonight." His eyes twinkled with mischief. I laughed, excited. We had dinner at a cozy Italian place, pasta, wine, tiramisu. He held my hand across the table, telling me how much he loved me. "You've made my life complete, Ruth." Back home, the house was dimly lit with candles. Soft music played. "Close your eyes," Philip said, leading me to the living room. I did, my heart racing. When I opened them, there was a man standing there. Tall, with dark hair and a friendly smile. He held a bottle of champagne. "This is Alex," Philip said. "My friend from work. Here's your birthday gift." I blinked, confused. "What do you mean?" Philip grinned. "I know things have been dull lately. I thought we could have some fun. The three of us. In bed." My stomach dropped. I stared at him, then at Alex, who nodded politely. "Happy birthday, Ruth. Philip told me a lot about you." Shock hit me like a wave. "Philip, what are you talking about? This is crazy." He stepped closer, his voice soothing. "Come on, Ruth. It's just to spice things up. Alex is a good guy. Discreet. We've talked about fantasies before, remember? You said you were open to trying new things." I remembered vague conversations years ago, when we were young and adventurous. But that was talk, not reality. That was just talk. I didn't mean this. Alex poured champagne. "No pressure. We can just chat if you want." But I felt trapped. My mind raced. How could Philip think this was okay? Did he not know me at all? I shook my head. "No. I can't. This isn't right." Philip's face fell. "Ruth, please. It's for us. To bring back the excitement." I turned and walked to the kitchen, needing space. My hands trembled as I gripped the counter. This was my husband, the man I loved. But this surprise felt like a betrayal. Philip followed. "I'm sorry if I shocked you. But think about it. We've been in a rut. This could be fun. Fun. Bringing another man into our bed. That's not fun, Philip. That's... I don't know what that is." He touched my arm. "Alex is okay with it. He's single, no strings. Just one night." I pulled away. "And what if I say no?" He sighed. "Then no. But I really think you should try. For me. For us." Tears welled up. I felt pressured. Part of me was angry, but another part wondered if he was right. Was our marriage that boring? Did I need to step out of my comfort zone? Alex came in. "Hey, if this isn't cool, I can leave." But Philip insisted. "Stay. Let's have a drink and talk." We sat in the living room. The champagne bubbled in my glass. They chatted about work, trying to ease the tension. Alex was nice, funny, charming. He shared stories from their office, making me laugh despite myself. As the night went on, the wine flowed. Philip held my hand, whispering, "I love you. This is about us exploring." My resolve weakened. Maybe it was the alcohol, or the way Philip looked at me with hope. "Okay," I whispered. "But just this once." What followed was a whirlwind, the kind of moment where time bends, and everything you thought you knew about love and boundaries suddenly feels fragile. We moved to the bedroom, the air thick with anticipation. Candles flickered along the dresser, painting the walls in gold and shadow. My heart pounded so hard I could hear it echo in my ears. I wasn't sure if I was trembling from fear, excitement, or both. Philip reached for my hand first, his touch warm and familiar. "It's okay," he whispered. His voice had that same calm tone he used when we were young and scared of the future, a voice that used to make me believe everything would be fine. I met his eyes, and in them, I saw both love and something else, curiosity, maybe even longing for something beyond us. Alex stood a few steps away, polite and unsure. He wasn't predatory or pushy, he was careful, respectful, like he knew he was stepping into sacred ground. Philip gave a small nod, and Alex moved closer, his movements slow, hesitant. Everything felt surreal, like watching a dream from outside my body. There was laughter at first, nervous and clumsy, then quiet. Words faded into touches, touches into silence. The air was alive with unspoken emotions, vulnerability, confusion, the strange electricity of crossing a line you can never uncross. For a while, I stopped thinking. I just felt. I felt seen, desired, and terrified all at once. The boundaries of what I thought marriage meant blurred into something I didn't yet understand. When it was over, there was no applause, no guilt, just silence. A fragile, trembling kind of silence that filled the room like mist. Philip turned to me and pulled me close. His heartbeat was steady against my cheek. "That was amazing," he whispered, his breath warm against my hair. "Thank you." Alex dressed quietly, offering a kind smile before leaving. The door clicked shut behind him, and suddenly the house felt enormous, too quiet, too real. I sat there for a long moment, staring at the candlelight melting into pools of wax. My mind raced. What had we just done? What did it mean? Yet, amid the confusion, I couldn't deny something had changed, something alive had stirred between Philip and me again. In the days that followed, it was as if someone had turned the color back on in our marriage. Philip was attentive in a way he hadn't been for years. He'd brush my hair away from my face in the mornings, leave notes on my pillow, send me little texts in the middle of the day, "Thinking of you, my beautiful troublemaker." He looked at me differently, like he'd rediscovered the woman he married. And I, despite the uncertainty gnawing at the back of my mind, felt drawn to him again, as if that strange night had unlocked something buried deep within us both. But beneath that sweetness, a quiet question began to hum, like the low note of a song that never quite ends. Had we truly reignited love, or had we just lit a fuse we didn't yet understand? We talked a lot about that night. We laughed about the awkward moments, teased each other, even shared what we truly felt. It brought us closer in a strange, unexpected way. There was honesty between us, raw, unfiltered. But then, the doubts started creeping in like uninvited guests. Was this really healthy? Could we handle it? What if it changed us for good? One evening, as we sat on the couch watching TV, Philip turned to me with that mischievous grin I both loved and feared. "Alex had fun that night," he said casually. "What do you think about doing it again?" I blinked at him. "Again? As in, repeat performance?" He chuckled. "Yeah. It was good for us, right? Why stop now?" I hesitated. My stomach did a little flip. "I'm not sure, Phil. It's not exactly like ordering pizza." But he kept pressing, gentle but insistent. "Come on, Ruth." It made us feel alive. Pressure built slowly, like a kettle about to whistle. I loved him deeply, but something about this felt like walking on a slippery floor in socks, one wrong move and boom. Still, over time, Alex became a regular visitor. At first, it was exciting, like living a secret life only we knew about. There was passion, laughter, even a strange kind of thrill. But soon, the excitement faded. It started feeling routine. And I noticed something. Philip's eyes lit up more when Alex was around. When it was just the two of us, that spark dimmed a little. One night, I couldn't hold it in anymore. "Do you still want me, just me?" I asked. He looked at me like I'd asked if water was still wet. "Of course I do. But this adds spice." "Spice?" I repeated. "Philip, this isn't a stew." He laughed, but I didn't. I felt used, like a present that had already been unwrapped and left on the table. That birthday gift had opened a door I wasn't sure we could ever close. Then things got worse. Philip started dropping new names. "What about trying it with some of our other friends? You know, variety." That was it for me. "No, Philip. This stops. I'm not doing this anymore." He frowned. "You're being close-minded." "Close-minded?" I snapped. "I'm trying to keep my sanity, not start a circus." Our fights became louder, sharper. The spark we'd been chasing turned into full-blown flames of anger. One night, after a particularly nasty argument, I'd had enough. I packed a small bag while he watched from the doorway. "Where are you going?" he asked, voice cracking. "I need space," I said quietly. He reached for me. "Ruth, don't leave. We can fix this." But I left anyway. I stayed with a friend for what I told myself would be a few days. Days became weeks. In the quiet, I thought about everything, how we started as young, hopeful sweethearts, and somehow ended up tangled in confusion and guilt. Philip called every day. Sometimes he'd cry, sometimes he'd just breathe on the phone, whispering, "I love you, Ruth. I'm sorry. I pushed too hard." And the truth was, I missed him. Beneath all the chaos, our love was still there, bruised, but alive. One afternoon, we met for coffee. It was awkward at first, but then our eyes met, and all the walls fell. We talked for hours. We cried. "Let's start over," he said softly. "Just us. No extras, no experiments." I smiled through tears. "Deal." We went to therapy. We learned how to talk, really talk. We rebuilt trust, brick by brick. It wasn't easy, but it was real. Now, years later, we're stronger. That birthday taught us a lesson we'll never forget about boundaries, about love, about not mistaking chaos for connection. Life isn't perfect. We still argue sometimes, still forget to replace the toothpaste cap. But it's our life. Honest, messy, and beautifully human. And that, I've learned, is more than enough.